We have to confront the fact that our government spends more than it takes in. That is not sustainable. Every day, families sacrifice to live within their means. They deserve a government that does the same.
I would think so, but we're not getting that. So I've invited a panel of journalists to explain this to me. Mary O'Grady of the Wall Street Journal, DeRoy Murdoch, a Scripps Howard columnist, and Matt Welch, editor of Reason magazine. So Obama says government has to live within its means, Matt, and he talks a good game. Doesn't happen, ever.
He came up with $400 billion of cuts in 10 years. Our deficit this year is going to be $1.5 trillion. It was a demonstration that he is not serious about the only issue in America right now. We have one issue in this country. We're out of money. What are you going to do about it? He came up with really weak sauce. And not only that, the only things that he suggested cutting got almost no applause from the sitting congressmen who are going to be making those decisions.
So this is not a dumb man. He knows the problem. What's going on? Mary, Matt says he's not serious.
Oh, of course he's not serious. All through the speech, he talked about, on the one hand, cutting spending, on the other hand, increasing investment, which is just really government euphemism for more spending. And, you know, he started talking about how we need government spending in order to create private sector innovation. There's, you know, this is crazy. I mean, it's...
Well, he said exactly that. Our free enterprise system is what drives innovation. Okay, I'm for that. But our government provided cutting-edge scientists and the support they need help make possible things like computer chips and GPS.
But that's a counterfactual. I mean, you don't know what would have happened in the absence of this huge monster government spending.
And rather than have the government spend money to create brand new inventions, and yes, they did have come up with things like Velcro. Thank God for that. But a much better idea.
Tang from NASA.
And Tang. Thank God for Tang. But a much better idea, I think, is to create a very, very dramatic incentive. What if we said, for example, anybody who comes up with a new idea, you get it patented, and you can exploit that patent, sell as many of whatever that product is, sell them around the world, hire as many people as you want to manufacture them, and you pay no federal corporate tax for 10 years. I think you will see people running into the garages to become the next Edison, the next Bill Gates, the next inventor of whatever medical or entertainment or whatever device it might be. And if the government would let people keep 100% of their profits rather than turn over 35%, I think you'd see a huge increase in innovation in this country.
It's not how the political class thinks.
Unfortunately not.
They think that innovation flows naturally from Washington, that prosperity comes from there. If we could just, you know, think really hard about green energy, everything in Obama's speech, literally the same exact words were said by George W. Bush in almost every single speech. In 2006, he unveiled the National Competitiveness Initiative. And they even passed it into law. We all remember that, right? We're all more competitive now than we were 5 years ago.
I mean, feel more competitive.
It's this notion that we can tinker around the edges with, we're going to cut tens of billions of dollars of spending now, and then let's just launch another new initiative that no one's going to care about, and it's not going to move the needle on the basic problem of the government is just growing at rates that are totally unsustainable.
In fact, he even said that all we really need to do is bring a lot of really smart people into a room and give them funding. He said, we're not handing out money, but if you get the smartest people all together, we will fund the equivalent of the Apollo projects.
And Jimmy Carter actually tried this back in the 70s with the Synfuels Corporation. We just get a lot of bright people together that can get these synfuels and get us off our so-called
$19 billion
right down the drain and eventually put out of business.
What about the Republicans? Paul Ryan gives the speech, and he has his plan that eventually, in about 60 years, would reduce the deficit. But at least he's a serious, thoughtful guy about it. But in his speech, no specifics.
It is a good, super preliminary step that they let Paul Ryan give the rebuttal to the State of the Union address, because he does have the most serious plan. But Republicans have not lined up in support of his tentative roadmap to balance the budget in 2063. They're, at this point, just talking about saying no for 2 years.